My name is Michelle. I'm a career woman in my early 30s working as a team leader in the marketing department. Looking back, meeting Eddie seemed like destiny. I met Eddie at a house party hosted by a mutual friend. After being introduced, we hit it off immediately. Eddie, in his late 30s, was well known locally as a vegan activist. Drawn to his vegan philosophy, I gradually began to embrace his beliefs. We enjoyed meals together, discussing ingredients and health, finding ourselves resonating with each other's values. After 2 years of dating, we decided to get married. Our wedding was held in a small church, a simple ceremony attended only by family and close friends. Yet this simplicity made it all the more touching, blessing the start of our new life together. Our newlywed life was even happier than I'd imagined. We enjoyed vegan meals together, tended to our vegetable garden on weekends, and cherished our time in nature. Influenced by Eddie's vegan philosophy, I gradually came to enjoy life as a vegan myself, finding satisfaction in this healthy lifestyle. In the midst of these happy days, we were blessed with our daughter, Ava. Her birth brought us the greatest joy we'd ever known. The moment she was born, I was overwhelmed with indescribable happiness. Eddie, too, renewed his determination to watch over Ava's growth with a sense of fatherly responsibility and joy. Ava grew steadily, and we did our best for her, taking utmost care to ensure her healthy development. Every time we saw her smile, our love grew even deeper. Life after Ava's birth was a continuous stream of joy and challenges. Every time we held her tiny hands, our hearts were filled with warmth. We continued to shower her with love. However, these happy days wouldn't last long. As Ava grew, we faced unexpected difficulties. Still, I was determined to do my best for our family and face any challenge that came our way. When Ava was 6 months old, we decided to start her on solid food. Eddie and I were eager to provide healthy vegan food and planned to incorporate many vegetables into her diet. We decided to start with vegetable juice for her first solid food. Watching her enjoy nature's bounty filled us with happiness. However, one day, right after giving Ava spinach juice, something went wrong with her body. Her face suddenly turned red, and she began crying violently. At first, we didn't know what was happening and were just confused. "What's wrong, Ava? Are you okay?" I desperately tried to calm her while holding her close. Eddie also approached worriedly. "Michelle, something's not right. This isn't normal." At that moment, red rashes began spreading across Ava's body, and her breathing became rough. We immediately rushed her to the emergency room. Upon arrival, the doctors responded quickly. "Your daughter is having a severe allergic reaction. She needs immediate treatment," the doctor explained with a serious expression. I felt my chest tighten at those words. An allergic reaction? To what? We gave her spinach juice. Could that be the cause? Eddie asked the doctor. The doctor nodded. That's highly likely. We'll need detailed testing to avoid specific vegetable allergies in the future. Subsequent tests revealed that Ava was allergic to multiple vegetables. Not just spinach, but also carrots, broccoli, and other common vegetables triggered reactions. I was shocked. The reality that we would have to be extremely careful with Ava's diet from now on weighed heavily on me. Back home, I was determined to manage Ava's diet strictly. Following the doctor's guidance, I checked each ingredient carefully and took measures to avoid allergic reactions. Michelle, it's okay. Let's do everything we can for Ava, Eddie encouraged me and helped prepare meals. Thank you, Eddie. But I'm really worried. We have to be careful that she doesn't react to any ingredients from now on. I felt a mixture of anxiety and determination. When Ava's condition stabilized, our hearts found a little peace. However, this incident became a major turning point for us. We vowed to pay even more attention and give more love to protect Ava's health. I felt we needed the resolve to overcome any difficulties that lay ahead as a family. When Ava turned 4, she suddenly began feeling unwell. At first, we thought it was just a cold, but her symptoms gradually worsened. Watching our once energetic Ava grow weaker, I felt deep anxiety. "Mama, I don't feel good," Ava complained in a weak voice. Her face was pale, she had no appetite, and she couldn't sleep well at night. "It's okay, Ava. You'll feel better soon." While encouraging her, I felt growing concern and anxiety inside. One day, Ava's condition suddenly deteriorated. Hit with high fever and severe vomiting, I immediately rushed her to the hospital, carrying her in my arms. Along the way, holding her tiny hand, I prayed desperately, "Please, please help Ava." Upon reaching the hospital, doctors immediately took Ava to the emergency room. I waited in the waiting room, feeling almost crushed by anxiety. Time seemed to pass so slowly, and my heart was racing. After a while, the doctor came to me and said, "Ava's condition is very serious. She needs detailed examination and treatment." "How did this happen?" I asked, fighting back tears. "While we can't determine the exact cause at this point, given her symptoms, there's a possibility it could be a rare disease." The doctor's words were calm but weighty. A rare disease. Those words echoed in my head, and I couldn't accept this reality. Ava was only 4 years old, so small, innocent, and precious. I felt like collapsing right there, but somehow managed to stay strong. "What should we do?" I asked the doctor. "Our first priority is to stabilize her condition. After that, we'll conduct detailed tests and determine a specific treatment plan." The doctor encouraged me with these words. That night, I stayed by Ava's side in her hospital room, holding her tiny hand. "Ava, Mama will always be here with you. You'll definitely get better, so stay strong." Ava smiled faintly and whispered, "Mama, thank you." At her words, my tears fell. Eddie also rushed to the hospital, and together we prayed for Ava's recovery. "Michelle, Ava is strong. She'll definitely overcome this," he said while holding my shoulder. The days that followed were filled with ups and downs as we watched Ava's condition change. As detailed examinations progressed, her body seemed to be slowly moving toward recovery, but the doctors explained that we couldn't let our guard down yet. "Michelle, all we can do is stay by her side and give her our love," Eddie said, and I nodded. "Yes, Eddie. We must support her." I strengthened my resolve and renewed my determination to do everything for Ava. I believed it was our family's mission to keep fighting for Ava. As Ava's hospitalization continued, Eddie became increasingly immersed in his vegan beliefs. He devoured various health-related literature and research, becoming convinced that a vegan diet would be effective in treating Ava. Michelle, look at this. As it says here, vegan diet strengthens the immune system. We should give this diet to Ava. Eddie excitedly showed me a book. But Eddie, Ava is allergic to vegetables. Besides, the doctors haven't said that a vegan diet would be suitable for her condition. I calmly objected, but Eddie wouldn't listen. The doctors are trapped in traditional treatments. We should believe more in the power of nature. Ava's body has the power to heal naturally. A vegan diet is necessary to help that. Eddie's eyes burned with conviction. At the hospital, Eddie strongly demanded the introduction of a vegan diet to the doctors. However, the doctors firmly opposed it, citing Ava's allergies. We prioritize Ava's safety. She needs certain nutrients, and there's a risk that a vegan diet could trigger her allergic reactions. The doctor explained calmly, but Eddie wasn't convinced. From that day on, Eddie began secretly bringing vegan food during visits. When I noticed, I immediately warned him. Eddie, what are you doing? This is dangerous. Michelle, this is for Ava. You need to understand. Eddie responded forcefully, but his words made me uneasy. One day, when I entered the hospital room, I found Ava suffering with a red face. Eddie had secretly given her vegetables again. Ava, are you okay? I rushed to her side and held her as she struggled to breathe. The doctor quickly arrived and administered emergency treatment to Ava. Thankfully, her symptoms soon stabilized, but I was filled with anger and fear. Eddie, this is the limit. Your beliefs are putting Ava's life at risk. I shouted at him. Michelle, I'm doing what's best for Ava. I believe vegan food will save her. Eddie's voice didn't waver, but uncertainty and confusion flickered in his eyes. Your beliefs might be right. But endangering Ava's life is unacceptable. I stated firmly. Since this incident, I became increasingly wary of Eddie's actions. I strongly felt that his beliefs were dividing our family and putting Ava's life at risk, which had to be avoided at all costs. For Ava's sake, I renewed my determination to fulfill my responsibility as a mother. Several weeks passed without Ava's condition stabilizing. During her continued hospital stay, tension grew between Eddie and me. Eddie still firmly believed that a vegan diet would be effective in treating Ava, and his conviction seemed to grow stronger by the day. One day, as I sat by Ava's bedside holding her small hand, I watched her peaceful sleeping face and prayed silently. Suddenly, the hospital room door opened, and Eddie entered. He carried a large bag filled with colorful vegetables. Eddie, what are you doing? I raised my voice in surprise and anxiety. Michelle, I'm going to feed these vegetables to Ava. Vegan food will save her. Eddie's eyes shone with fanatical intensity. But I told you Ava has allergies. This is too dangerous. I desperately tried to stop him, but Eddie ignored me and approached Ava. Ava, eat this. This will cure your illness. Eddie said gently while bringing a spoon to Ava's mouth. Papa, stop. Ava said weakly, but Eddie wouldn't listen. It's okay, Ava. Vegan food will cure your illness. Eddie continued forcing vegetables into Ava's mouth. Trembling with fear and anger, I tried to stop him. Eddie, stop. This is wrong. At that moment, Ava's face swelled and turned red, and she began coughing violently. Her breathing became rapidly labored, and I immediately pressed the nurse call button. Help! Ava is. I screamed. Doctors and nurses rushed in and administered emergency treatment to Ava. I held Ava's hand with trembling hands, praying she would be all right. Thankfully, Ava's symptoms soon stabilized, but my heart was filled with anxiety and anger that felt like it would break me. Eddie stood there, pale-faced. For Ava's sake, we must follow the doctor's instructions. Please, stop forcing things. I desperately told him. That night, watching over Ava in her hospital room, I held her small hand. While feeling anger and fear about Eddie's actions, I continued thinking about what would be best for Ava. I was determined to take any measures necessary to protect her safety and health. I was deeply concerned about the danger Eddie's actions posed to Ava. No matter how strong his beliefs were, putting Ava's life at risk was unacceptable. I decided to consult with the doctors about protecting Ava. Doctor, we need to take measures against my husband. His actions have gone too far. I pleaded earnestly. The doctor nodded with a serious expression. We feel the same way as you do. We must prioritize Ava's safety. Let's think about how to convince Eddie. That afternoon, the doctor explained their plan to me. Michelle, this is quite a harsh measure, but we'll tell Eddie that Ava's condition is extremely dangerous to make him change his behavior. I hesitated for a moment but decided it was necessary for Ava's safety. Yes, please do. The next day, the doctor called Eddie in and began speaking with a serious face. We have very serious news about Ava's condition. What do you mean? Eddie stared at the doctor tensely. Ava's condition has severely deteriorated, and she's in critical condition. Her life is in danger if this continues. The doctor calmly but gravely delivered the lie. No, that can't be. Eddie shouted. His face turned pale, and his eyes widened in fear. Vegan food will save her. This can't be wrong. Unfortunately, due to the allergic reactions triggered by the vegetables you've given her, Ava's body is reaching its limit. Right now, the most important thing is to avoid causing her stress and let her rest. The doctor's words were calm, but their content was shocking to Eddie. How did this happen? Eddie turned to me with tearful eyes. I was only trying to do what's best for Ava. Eddie, we're all trying to do what's best for Ava. But your actions are putting her in danger. I said quietly but firmly. Let's follow the doctor's instructions now. That's what's best for Ava. I just wanted to save Ava. Eddie collapsed there, holding his head. How did this happen? Eddie, we must overcome this difficulty together. Let's do what's best for Ava. I placed my hand on his shoulder, gently encouraging him. Afterward, Eddie fell into a state of derangement, and his behavior became increasingly unstable. Doctors and nurses began monitoring him and restricting his access to Ava's hospital room. I decided to distance myself from Eddie, prioritizing Ava's safety. After Eddie fell into derangement and the doctors began keeping him away to protect Ava's safety, one emotion swirled in my heart: deep anger and a desire for revenge. The fury over his actions endangering Ava grew steadily within me. In the quiet of the hospital room, holding Ava's small hand, I felt my resolve solidifying. I can no longer forgive Eddie. I cannot overlook how his beliefs have hurt Ava. One night, I secretly began discussions with the nurses and doctors. What can we do to protect Ava? We must take action to stop Eddie's behavior. We also prioritize Ava's safety. We should consider legal measures to keep Eddie away. The doctor said with a serious expression. Yes, I've been thinking about that too. We need to legally corner him and prevent him from approaching Ava. I responded calmly, but my words carried determination. A few days later, I consulted with a lawyer and began proceedings to obtain a restraining order against Eddie. While listening to my story, the lawyer explained the legal procedures. Michelle, it's important to gather evidence to protect you and Ava's safety. We need to show that Eddie's actions are harmful to Ava. I understand. I'll provide all the records. I'll reveal everything he did to Ava. I answered with firm resolve. Simultaneously, I made Eddie's actions public through social media. My plan was to socially corner him by widely sharing how his vegan beliefs had become excessive and harmed our daughter. For Ava's sake, I must reveal everything. Everyone needs to know how dangerous his actions are. I told myself this as I prepared to take action. I also consulted with friends and sought their cooperation. They were shocked by my story but promised to help. Michelle, we'll lend our strength too. Let's do our best for Ava. Their encouragement gave me courage. Everyone, I need to speak up as a mother. I want you to know that my daughter Ava's life was put in danger. My husband Eddie forced his vegan beliefs on her and insisted on giving her vegetables she was allergic to. As a result, Ava faced a life-threatening situation. This post spread rapidly, attracting many people's attention. By making Eddie's actions public, I widely exposed the danger of his beliefs while taking concrete actions to protect Ava. Michelle, this is causing quite a reaction, one of my friends informed me. Many people sympathize with your courage and are angry about Eddie's actions. Encouraged by this response, I decided to take another step. I informed Eddie's workplace and family about his actions, telling them how socially dangerous he was. His colleagues, superiors, and family were shocked by these facts and began reconsidering their relationships with him. Michelle, here's all the information about Eddie. We've gathered evidence to support your claims, including his past behavior and statements. Using the information provided by the lawyer, I proceeded with plans to corner Eddie further. What he did to Ava is nothing short of abuse. I explained to the police how legally problematic Eddie's actions were. The police took this matter seriously and began investigating Eddie. We will legally pursue Eddie's actions. He will never be allowed to contact Ava again. The police officer's words gave me a sense of relief. Next, I filed for divorce from Eddie. Working with my lawyer, I demanded custody and proceeded with legal measures to ensure Ava's safety. The court battle was tough, but I never gave up. For Ava's sake, I must win at all costs. I took the stand with this vow in my heart. With evidence and testimony in place, the judge accepted my claims. Finally, I won custody and succeeded in separating Ava from Eddie. Now Ava is safe. As I left the courthouse, I shed tears of relief. Eddie's downfall didn't end there. He was arrested on charges of abuse and received a prison sentence in court. Having lost his social credibility and his job, he became completely isolated. Michelle, now you and Ava can start a new life. My friends congratulated me. Thank you, everyone. This was all necessary for Ava. I answered with a smile. I had fought with everything I had for Ava's safety and future. And as a result, a new life was beginning. Ava, our new life starts now. I held Ava's hand tightly and stepped forward with new determination. Several months have passed since our new life began. Ava's health improved day by day, and our bond grew even stronger. Having overcome past difficulties, we reaffirmed our trust and love for each other and began walking toward a new future. One evening, I was preparing dinner with Ava. She wore a small apron and was seriously focused on cutting vegetables. The sight made me smile. "Mama, I'll make the salad today. With vegetables I can eat," Ava said happily. "Thank you, Ava. Your salad will surely be delicious," I answered while watching over her. After dinner, we read picture books together in the living room. Ava sat on my lap, happily turning the pages. Seeing her smile, I felt the past pain gradually healing. "Mama, today's story was so much fun," Ava said contentedly. "Yes, Ava. Every day is a new adventure," I answered while hugging her. That night, before putting Ava to bed, I told her, "Ava, you're such a strong girl. Let's continue to spend happy days together with Mama forever." Ava smiled and said, "Yes, Mama. I love you too," before falling peacefully asleep. Our life was peaceful and filled with happiness. Seeing Ava's health recover and watching her grow energetically was my greatest joy. We cherished each day and held new hope for the future. One morning, I visited the hospital with Ava. It was the day of her regular checkup, and I was a bit nervous about the results. While waiting in the waiting room, I held Ava's hand tightly. "Mama, it's okay. I'm healthy," Ava said cheerfully. "Yes, Ava. You're such a strong girl." I smiled, though I still felt anxious inside. When we entered the examination room, the doctor greeted us with a warm smile. He carefully checked Ava's charts and test results. "I have Ava's test results. It's wonderful news. Ava's illness is completely cured. While regular checkups will still be necessary, her future looks bright," the doctor said with a gentle smile. "Really?" I asked, hardly believing it. "Yes, Ava has worked very hard. From now on, just live a healthy life and enjoy your days together." The doctor nodded firmly. Fighting back tears, I hugged Ava. "Ava, I'm so glad. You've done so well." "Yes, Mama. I'm going to get even healthier," Ava said happily. Afterward, I took Ava back to our new home, where we started our new life. Ava quickly adapted to the new environment and regained her smile. Her condition gradually improved, and the doctors reported good progress. A few months later, I met a new partner. He was kind and caring, and quickly bonded with Ava. The three of us spent enjoyable time together, and our hopes for the future grew increasingly stronger. "Michelle, you and Ava are truly a wonderful family," he said with a smile. "Let's continue to spend happy days together." "Thank you. We're happy being with you too." I squeezed his hand back, feeling truly grateful. While many challenges may still await us in the future, I'm confident we can overcome them by believing in our bonds with each other. We will continue building happy days together, hand in hand. I believe Ava's smile will be our support, and our love will light up our new future. "Ava, let's go on many more adventures together." I smiled at her. "Yes, Mama. We'll always be together." Ava answered with a beaming smile. And so, Michelle and Ava began walking toward a new life filled with hope. Their bond will forever remain strong and unshakable.